Welcome back, trainer. So if you enjoyed my last video, you're going to love this one here. So we did take a look at the performance of Lickilicky with Body Slam alongside Snorlax with Lick and Body Slam as well. Kind of a meme team, but this time around, we're going to actually use a real team here. We have Typhlosion, Lickilicky, and Poliwrath. Now, the reason why I didn't go with the shiny completely maxed out is because I didn't have a lucky friend on hand, unfortunately, to lucky trade those. And the two shinies that I did get were horrible IVs, so I just decided to go with this one. And you know me, when it comes to new Pokemon and the power up, I get those videos out as soon as possible, and this Pokemon here is no exception, and that is why I just went with the non-shiny and the best one that I did have. And unfortunately, a lot of people are experiencing where they were not able to evolve their Lickitungs, and they thought they were going to be able to get it later. I'm really sorry to hear that, and yeah, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get Body Slam afterwards unless Niantic does switches. So we started off with Typhlosion. We're met with a Registeel. They switch into Giratina, and then we switch into Lickilicky here. Now, if you're thinking, probably your biggest question is, okay, well, what's the difference between this and Snorlax? Which one do I want? Snorlax is a lesser investment because it's not going to have to be completely maxed out. While this one right here, you're going to have to completely max it out and then purchase a secondary move for 50,000 Stardust. Well, this here can have Body Slam and Shadow Ball. Now, I probably should do some more videos with it using Shadow Ball so you can see the performance. It's not going to take as much energy as Earthquake, and it is going to be hitting those Giratinas really hard because super effective damage, as well as that Lick. So we'll probably get into that later. So the Lickilicky was able to take it down fairly low. We're going to be able to shield this up and gain energy with Shadow Claw and do super effective damage. So now our Typhlosion is loaded. Our Lickilicky played its position, and they have no counter for this. They have a Registeel in the back, and they bring in Venusaur because they do not know what to do here. So basically, we're just going to be going Blast Burn, taking out that Venusaur. In comes the Registeel, and we're in a great position. We have Poliwrath in the back, who hasn't even seen any action whatsoever. And the reason why I have Poliwrath is so it can kind of protect the Typhlosion from any Water-type users, seeing that it does have Dynamic Punch, while the Water-type users are not going to be doing super effective damage to the Poliwrath here. So we do make a switch into Poliwrath up against that Registeel. We're going to go ahead and barely hit the bubbles for the Dynamic Punch and take it out there. That's going to be our first win. I was able to get quite a few wins with this team here. And let's go ahead and see what we have for our next opponent. I'm not going to be cutting it or anything. You're going to just see the complete playthrough of the full set here to see how it does perform. So we're met with the Giratina. Now, Blast Burn against it is going to be doing a lot of damage, as you're going to be seeing here later on. So I do make a switch right at the perfect time. I knew they were going to be going for Ancient Power, super effective against Typhlosion. They make a switch into Togekiss here. And now let's see what Lickilicky can do up against it. So Body Slams are going to be doing great damage. Now, I'm going to be honest here with you guys. If you do not really have the resources to invest in a Lickilicky, completely max it out, and you have a Snorlax, don't worry about it. Snorlax is going to be working just as great. Like we went over previously, the difference is going to be, well, it's going to be, I wouldn't say a bit tankier, maybe just slightly, and it's going to be able to have Shadow Ball, which is going to be doing a lot of damage to Giratina. Then again, Earthquake's going to work great too. So we do have a Swampert. We're going to be going for Solar Beam, the Surprise Beam, but they shield it up. So we do make a switch into our Poliwrath. Like we've said, the reason why we have the Poliwrath is to protect us from those Water-type Pokemon, and they're staying in the fight here. And we're going to go ahead, I think, go Dynamic Punch. And if they do not shield that up, we should be able to do a lot of damage and then just hit it with Ice Punch. Do they have shields? They have no more shields. Okay, never mind. So they can't shield up anything anyways. So Earthquake will hurt the Poliwrath. And the Hydro Cannons were not going to be doing much here. I knew this was a Hydro Cannon. And that's exactly what it is. We were hit and not very effective. We're able to feint it down with quick moves. In comes the Giratina, and now we're going to be able to do super effective with the Ice Punch. And this is another reason why I like to use Poliwrath here. Making a switch into the Typhlosion, going to be shielding this up, of course. And check out the Blast Burn. We're able to actually take down that Giratina that's resisting fire types, and it's also tanky. And we take the win. So far, this team has been fantastic. Can't wait to go test it out again. And like I said, I might switch up the Earthquake on the Lickilicky just to see how well Shadow Ball does perform and to give you a good example here. I just wanted to throw an actual team together so you can get a better retrospective on how well it is going to be performing instead of just pairing it up with a Body Slam Snorlax alongside it. So we're going to be seeing another Registeel. This is going to be a best buddy here. So we're just going to hold our ground, gain a bunch of energy, and then they do make the switch. We're going to continue to gain a little bit of energy while doing super effective Shadow Claw damage, make a switch into Lickilicky, and now we're doing super effective with our Lick. And we're going to try to build up to an Earthquake here. And like I said, it's going to be taking less energy to get to Shadow Ball than Earthquake, so you will be able to spam those a little bit more. Obviously, going up against another Snorlax, you're not going to be wanting to hit that Shadow Ball or any other normal type. You're going to be wanting to go with Body Slam for sure. So you have yourself covered there really well with that Lickilicky having normal and Shadow, or should I say Ghost. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go for that Earthquake here. They do shield it up, so quite a bit of energy lost. That's all right. But we were able to get it low, and at this point I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to be able to feint it down. We're going to use a shield here, which is perfectly fine, but I'm going to gain so much energy. Doing super effective with my quick move, we take it down, and we have blast burns for days here. All right, so in comes the Registeel, and I was like, dang, all that energy lost, but we were able to survive and get off the blast burn. Wow, that's awesome. So yeah, that was weird there. What happened was they switched. So yeah, that Registeel is very low. Yeah, it's a visual glitch there. So we're going to be going with our Poliwrath, and not good because that charm is going to be doing a lot of damage. But Poliwrath is such a tank. It's able to take those, and we're able to finish it off with quick moves. Amazing. And then in comes the Registeel. We have enough energy from fainting it down, the Clefable, with Mud Shots that we are able to get to a Dynamic Punch and take out that Registeel. I'm loving this team. All right, let's continue on. Let's see what we have for our next opponent here. And yeah, so Lickilicky, yeah, it was worth the investment. Sure, you know, it is what it is. The power of videos. I'm going to be investing my resources and seeing how well they do perform. Now, this is something new. A Heatran. Very interesting. I haven't seen one of these yet. And this is a good matchup as long as we shield up Stone Edge. I don't know exactly what moves they have, but I'm assuming that they do have Stone Edge because they're staying in this fight. And also judging by them staying in this fight, I feel like they have something in the back that does not want to see my Typhlosion. So we're just going to continue on. And they do make the switch there. And they burn both their shields, as well as us having one shield left. So we're looking pretty good here. Lickilicky is going to be able to put on work like we've seen prior. This is kind of like my, Giratina counter. So maybe I should put Shadow Ball on it. The reason why I have Earthquake is in case I had to go up against a Registeel, at least I'll be able to do that much more damage because Body Slam's not doing anything to the Registeel because it is going to be resisting normal types. So we're able to get to one more Body Slam, and I do believe take it out here. That was very close. We have 1 HP. That happened actually in the first or second battle. I just didn't hit the Body Slam. So we're going to be bringing in our Poliwrath. We make an immediate switch into our Typhlosion when they switch into Meganium here. They have no more energy, and it's good night, sleep tight for the Meganium with that Blast Burn. And the I do believe they actually just surrender here, which is perfectly fine. I personally do that too, is you simply tap the back out button. I guess you can call that rage quit. Not really, because you're just kind of, saying you won, good, and it's legit. They're not quitting out and force closing the app and making it so nobody takes a win, so appreciate that. Moving on to the next battle, we're met with a Lapras, and I knew we were going to see a Surf, so we wanted to gain energy and safe swap into our Poliwrath to absorb that, but they make a switch into Togekiss. But this is where Poliwrath is going to shine yet again. We've seen this before. It can take the charms while dishing out good damage right back with that Ice Punch, because this thing is a beast. Another Pokemon that's going to have to be almost maxed out here in the Ultra League. So they did take us out, but that's all right. That thing is really low on health, so we're going to be able to tank whatever they throw at us here. Good thing they did not get... Well, they did get the boost. Good. I was going to say, good thing they didn't get the boost, and now I remember they got the boost at the end there and did extra damage with that charm there. All right. Very lucky. So we're able to get to our Body Slam onto that Lapras there. I was waiting to make the switch, waiting for them to use their energy, and then I do believe I'm going to go into my Typhlosion, or not. We're going to continue on here, just do as much damage as we can to that Lapras. And now I make the switch, and now we're just going to go immediately for the Blast Burn here, and we take out that Lapras. They have 2 shields left, and they knew what they were doing here. So this is the only thing I didn't want to see. This is a bad situation here. So it looks like we're going to take our first loss, even despite having 2 shields. I could have possibly won this. At this point, I was kind of like, meh, I lost. So I wasn't really trying. As you're going to see what happens here, I get to Blast Burn, but I tried going for a Solar Beam meme, but possibly could have burned that last shield. Went in with Lickilicky, got off a Body Slam, and possibly took that win there. But you can't win them all, I suppose, so we're going to be taking a loss here. So I was going to make a separate video with Lickilicky using Shadow Ball, but what I'm going to do for you guys is, for the second half, I am going to TM it over to Shadow Ball, and towards the end of the video, you're going to see the prime example. I do lead with Lickilicky up against a Giratina altered form, and you're going to see how well it does perform when it does have Shadow Ball as well as Lick. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was amazing. So we're going to go ahead and try to get Shadow Ball here. It's a good thing we're stacked up on charge TMs because it takes forever to get this Shadow Ball. Look how ridiculous this is. But yeah, I'm stacked on these charge TMs, so I'm looking pretty good. A few of you are asking, how did I get so many? Well, that's because if you win the premium sets in the Go Battle League up to 4 in a row, you will be able to get charge TMs as well as doing those tier 4 raids yesterday. So we're going to be starting it off with the Honey Badger. I'm going to call it Honey Badger, the Typhlosion, because that's what it basically resembles here. Tough little cookie here. And I'm so sick of these Articunos with Icy Wind. And I was so happy to see this lead here. So we're going to be able to win this, even when they lower our attack. Unfortunately, I was paired up with a rank 9. It looks like there wasn't any rank 10s that were online when I was for my specific area, I suppose. So we're going to make a switch into the Poliwrath because they do switch into Blaziken. This is great. I'm assuming they do not have any sort of flying attack for their charge move, so we're going to be able to let everything go through. We're going to hit it up with Dynamic Punch, take it down. They do enter with Venusaur here, and we're going to go ahead and go with Ice Punch. This is why Poliwrath is so amazing. Its coverage for the Ultra League meta is fantastic, so it is going to be able to at least defend itself even against its weakness, in this case Venusaur. So I'm deciding exactly what I want to do. We're going to go ahead and go in here with the Lickilicky, and we're going to let this go through. He decides to go with a Sludge Bomb. Okay, maybe he thought my Typhlosion was going to be entering in, so he just went with Sludge Bomb. Maybe he thinks that's going to be doing more damage. Honestly, you should probably go for the Frenzy Plant. So we're going to go ahead and go for Body Slam. I do decide to switch into Typhlosion, gain a little bit more energy, and this Articuno is going to come in and just get roasted by the Honey Badger. And we take the win there. All right, moving on to the next battle here. We're going to be starting off with Typhlosion again, and we're met with a Giratina. So at this point, what I want to do is basically charge up energy and catch an Ancient Power. I've done this before. It's worked great, but he hits me with a Dragon Claw, which is okay. It's still not going to be doing that much damage. They do decide to stay in this fight here, which Poliwrath can hold its own quite significantly. Now, the Dragon Breath on the Giratina is going to eventually wear us down, as well as those Dragon Claws, but we're still going to be able to fight back with Furious Force here, hitting it up with those Ice Punches with that Mud Shot, just charging extremely fast. I do decide to shield this up because I do want the lead advantage, switch advantage. So let's see if they decide to shield. They use their last shield. I'm like, all right, perfect. So I can make a switch into Lickilicky. As you can see, we do have that Shadow Ball. And then they make a switch into that Swampert. So Swampert is a bit of a problem. It's not too big of a deal. Lickilicky can take those Hydro Cannons, and as well as dish back good damage with Body Slam. We're not going to go for Shadow Ball. We might as well go for the Body Slam because we're getting Stab, and it's just going to be better energy consumption to just go for those, as opposed to just hitting Shadow Ball. If I was going up a Giratina, as you're going to see towards the end here, then yes, we will go for Shadow Ball. So I make a switch into Poliwrath, trying to get that Ice Punch, and then they switch into Giratina. They have no more shields. I'm like, you know, this works perfect. I'm just a little worried about that Swampert gaining energy. So it does have those Hydro Cannons, so I'm going to go with my Lickilicky. I'm thinking they had a Hydro Cannon, they just were not able to get it off, so luckily I was able to get my Body Slam first. In comes the Registeel, and I was like, ooh, it just gained energy. That's not too good, but we have our Typhlosion in the back with plenty of energy. We go for the Overheat, lowering our attack. I was thinking maybe I should have went for 2 Blast Burns at this point, because I was thinking it might have taken it out, or at least I was able to finish it off with Shadow Claws. Luckily enough, we were able to get to another charge move, which is going to be Blast Burn, and we take out that Registeel. Moving into our next opponent here. Now, if you do enjoy these videos, please give it a big thumbs up, trainers, and I'll continue to bring you guides like this, or just examples and performance from specific Pokemon and lineups here. So this guy does have another Articuno with that Icy Wind. I'm telling you, man, I love it when my Honey Badger just gets matched up perfectly with those because it can just handle them easy. So anyways, we're stuck in a not too great position here. Assuming they're going to just continuously go for the Icy Wind to lower our attack. So what we want to do at this point is just make sure we get out those bad body slams before we get hit by another Icy Wind here and lowering our attack even more. Because we haven't used a shield at this point, so we're not looking horrible, but we're not looking too great either. But check this out. We're able to get to another body slam, and they do decide to let it go through, I do believe. Or they shield it up. Okay. That's going to be another case here, I suppose, that we'll look at. So they take us out. We're going to go in with Typhlosion. Now, I figured they were going to go for Icy Wind, so I let this go through. And as soon as this goes down, I'll just make the switch. So my attack is just back to neutral here. But unfortunately, the Snorlax has a body slam ready to go, so we're going to have to preserve our health. After they get off that body slam and expend that energy, we are going to gain a bit more energy on our Typhlosion, then make the switch into the Poliwrath here, because they have no more shields. We're looking pretty good. We have a fighting type up against the Snorlax, pretty comfortable here. Now this is questionable. I could have possibly went for another dynamic punch, but I figured just go for 2 ice punches, and I never mind. Okay, well, I go for another dynamic punch just like I should have. Perfect. So we take that out, and they have a Steelix in the back, and I was just laughing like, yes, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and get this off here, switch into Typhlosion, hit it up with Blast Burn, and then take out that Steelix. Steelix can be a massive problem if you do not have the Pokemon to combat it. All right, going up against our next opponent here, starting it off with Typhlosion again, and after this, we're going to switch our lead with Lickilicky, so we can possibly catch one of those Giratina origin forms that people so much love to lead with. I mean, have some originality, come on. All right, so we have the Charizard out here with a Legacy quick move. And our Poliwrath is, you know, this is a good situation for Poliwrath up against the Charizard, but with that Legacy flying type move on it, it's not looking great because it's going to be doing a little bit more damage than the Fire Spin. So they're in a decent position here. I was contemplating if I wanted to shield it up, and we're able to barely survive and almost get off another Ice Punch. Unfortunately, we're not able to. So we're just going to go back with the Lickilicky here. And I don't know what happened here. I feel like they had it. Dragon Claw, but maybe they're just trying to get off a Blast Burn, so who knows. So anyways, they enter in with Poliwrath. We're going to be going with that Body Slam spam. It's not really a spam, but it charges decent with Lick, and they're going to be hitting us with Dynamic Punch. I do decide to let it go through to save those shields for the Typhlosion, or our last shield at least, because they still have one. We had a Body Slam. Unfortunately, we're not able to get that off. And we're not looking too great here. Not looking too great at all. So we're going to get off the Blast Burn here, which is going to do okay damage. And we're able to take it out with quick moves. What do they have in the back? And that's going to be that Giratina still. So now we're not looking great. Unfortunately, I let this go through because it's over. And then I do back out because it's like, yep, you got me. You got me. Good one here. So they take that win there. Moving on to the final one. This is the one we're going to enter with Lickilicky. Now check it out. This is what you've been waiting for. How well does it perform in a lead against it with Shadow Ball? Well, let's go ahead and see what we have here. I do believe I do not use any shields. We're just going to tank this with Lickilicky. And this is where it's going to be outperforming Snorlax as far as going up against these Giratinas, because it does have that Shadow Ball as well as Lick. The Snorlax does have Lick, but, well, not Shadow Ball, just that heavy hitting Earthquake. Shadow Ball is going to take less energy to get to, so you're going to be able to spam it a little bit faster. So Lickilicky is holding up quite well. Thought they were going to make this switch here. They do not. All right, so they did block our first one, so unfortunately we kind of wasted energy there. The Lickilicky is getting dangerously low on that health. We're going to go for another Shadow Ball. They let it go through, and we finish it off with Lick with 2 shields and a shield down on their end. They take us out with Clefable. And I do go in with the Typhlosion, gain a bunch of energy. They make a switch, and then we're just going to go ahead and go for the Blast Burn. Well, I kind of tapped on it before I knew they made the switch, so nice switch there. And we're going to go ahead and go with our Poliwrath. I'm just going to go ahead and let this go through. We do have 2 shields, but I want to save them for the late game for the Typhlosion, because we can get this low enough, and then whatever's in the back, we're just going to Blast Burn it to death with our Honey Badger, right? So we're going to go ahead and go for the Ice Punch here. Because they have 1 shield left, and maybe I was trying to burn that there, I do decide to use one here. Hydro Cannon. We probably would have survived, but I just didn't want to risk it. And we take out that Swampert there. In comes the Clefable. We're going to go ahead and go for the Ice Punch. Neutral damage. Switch into Typhlosion here. so they can't get too much energy up on us. And we're going to be able to shield this Meteor Mash with Charm. Takes forever to get you to your charge moves. So we're going to be able to get to 2 before they can get to their next one. They're going to shield that up. We gain so much energy that we're able to hit the next one. So there you have the performance trainers. Again, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I will continue to bring you these videos. I'm having a lot of fun with this team, and hopefully you're able to get your Body Slam Lickilicky. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all on my next video.